Hi everyone, my name is Paulina and you are watching Bites of Books. Today I come with week 2 of the Reading Quest update, and it went a lot slower than last time, but that's because I was reading a pretty awesome book. But let me tell you first the books I read, and then I'll tell you where I'm standing with the quest. So for the book published by a small press, I chose The Fourth World of the Hoppies by Harold Kurlander. And this is a book that I got from a previous boss I had, who knows that I love to read. And she wrote on here, it looks like it's in story form. She put a little post-it on there. And it is actually really told in story form, just from the creation of the world and the Hopi legends to their warriors, their gods, their spirits, and all of the different tribes and clans that are in their group. And it was really, really, really cool. I really enjoyed this. I gave it 5 stars because it was just everything. I also really liked the images that come at the very beginning of each story, and I really, really enjoyed at the end where they talk about, they have notes on each of the stories, so things that maybe some of the clans disagree on based on one of the legends, or things that they really are consistent on all of the different narrators who told these stories to Harold Kurlander. And since reading this, I went and researched a little bit more about him, and it turns out that he specializes in writing books about stories coming from different groups around the world. So he has stories from groups in Africa, more Native American stories as well. And so I am really interested in reading more of these mythologies and legends that come from many different parts of the world. And so I'm definitely going to keep a lookout for more of his books because this was a really excellent read. And after that, I switched gears really, really drastically, and I started and finished a quest. I finished the Rogue quest with a book with one word title, and started the Mage with that one as well. And for that, I read Chuck Palahniuk's Snuff, and this is a book that I had been hesitant to read for a long time because, just like every Palahniuk book, he has like these very untraditional settings for his novels. So in this one, you get an adult film setting where a woman, Cassie Wright, she's trying to break a record for the most sex acts done in consecutive form. And so she has this goal of having sex with 600 men. Now, she's been in the industry for a long time. She knows what she's doing and everything. I think a lot of people will be like, no, this is just, it's just a sick book, right? But I don't think so. I think it's a very, very powerful statement on what it means to be a woman in the adult film industry, and also a man, because all of the men that are here are actually talked to as numbers. Mr. 600, Kid 72, and the only people on here that have that are talked to as with their names are the women. So Cassie Wright and Sheila, who is the manager, they're the only ones who actually have names. And I think that's a very interesting idea that, that he explores in this book. So basically, those are the 2 books that I read this week. And so all of that brings me to, I have it here. Oh yeah. So now I am in level 3 with 115 experience points, and 142 HP. So for the next books, which are in the mage category, or the mage quest, I'm going to be reading, well, I already started reading, An Author's Odyssey from the Land of Stories series by Chris Colfer. And I'm already 150 pages in, and this is really an awesome book. I mean, it's already book 5. I'm definitely already invested in the characters and everything. But since the very beginning, this was a series that I really loved, and I have been reading them voraciously because I just like read them really fast. So this is going to be a really quick read. It fits the quest of, or the challenge, a book that contains magic. And there's definitely magic because it's in fairy tales and fairies and magical beings and everything, so definitely magic. And then after that, I am going to read a book based on mythology, which will be Good Omens by Terry Pratchett and Neil Gaiman. And this is about the apocalypse, and that's all I know. But definitely set on mythology, and yeah, so that will be after that. And then I have to read a book that is set in a different world, and for that I am going to be starting Stephen King's the Dark Tower series, which is set in a different world. I don't actually know much about this. And the first one is The Gunslinger. And I just got all of these books. I will show them in a haul at some point. But I got them really cheap, 99 cents each. I love it. So I'll be starting that. And then the final book for this quest, and which would start the night quest, is the first book in a series, which would have been The Gunslinger, but I'm gonna read one that my sister has been wanting me to read for a while, which is The Red Queen by Victoria Aveyard. And she loved this thing. I wasn't very much attracted to it, but I don't have any other first books in a series that I haven't read. So I'm going to start this one. It isn't very long, and I think, well, actually, it's almost 400 pages. Did not know that. And tiny rating. Look at that. That's pretty tiny. Not expecting that. But that's okay. I think it's going to be a cool read. So this next 4 books are definitely all sort of fantasy, magical reads, and that's pretty much it for today. I'm going to keep reading The Author's Odyssey, and I will see you guys next week with another update. So, bye!